Hi everyone, my name is Elliot Pytoski and I'm with Salient Process. Today I'm going to be going over the password control, which is available both in our community and our enterprise editions of the SPARK Toolkit. The password control is a control that is used to display a password and receive password input without revealing what it is to the user. And so this is also done by these black circles here that you can see. And so if you've worked with any user interface where you type in a password, this is very commonly done. And so if we look at some of the configuration options within the password control, we can see some of the different customizations available to us. Within the appearance configuration option, we can change the width of the control. Here I have it set at 300 pixels, but you can also have it set at percentages and EMs as well. And if you hover over that, you can see a tooltip pop up that provides this sort of information. With size, we can adjust the size from default large to small, and that's basically how big the control is or how large the font is within it. And label placement is whether on top or left. So for this right here, the label is on top, but left would be over here. The behavior tab is configuration options that are more related to the actual behavior of the control itself. And tab index is one that basically when you press tab on the keyboard, which control receives it first. And you can set the sequence of controls every time you press tab, which one it goes to next. And so right now we have it at 1, which is the first thing. Well, the placeholder text here, this is the text to appear at load and also whenever the control has any input that's deleted from it. And so it's there to provide extra information to the user or possibly even examples on input that it wants. The events tab are the inline events that are available to the control, and some of them are boundary events and some of them are just coach events. And I'll go more into that later after I show the demo. So if we pop open the demo, we can see here we have a simple example of a password control here being used and then a collapsible panel and a button. And if I click within the password control, the collapsible panel expands out and reveals that the correct password is password. If I lose focus on the control, then the collapsible panel collapses back in, and then I cannot see that anymore. So I click inside, and if I type something, then you'll notice that the background text that was within the control is gone. That was the placeholder that was set, and once you type, it disappears, but if I were to delete, it comes back. And so if I type in the wrong password, press enter, then the button here turns red, and that is due to the logic that's running on the onChange event. If I add the correct password, press enter, then it turns green, and that means that it successfully met the requirements to have that event happen. And so if I go ahead and look back at the coach, look at the events here, you can see what's kind of going on and how these things are happening. And so if I look here at the onChange event, we have two different things. We have this me here, and then we have this. And both of these are accomplishing the same thing. They're identifying which control ID they're referring to. SPARK provides convenience to the developer by having shortcuts to accomplish things. So if we use this word me, we're referring to the actual control itself that these events are running under. So this one, the control event is password1, or I'm sorry, the control ID is password1, and that's the me in this case. The get text is the name of the function available to this control that are pre-made to provide convenience to the developer so they don't have to create the method themselves. This one here is just referring to button 1, which is this button here, and the control ID is button 1. And so we're saying in the events that if the text of the password is equal to password, then set the color style to S, which is success or green, and then if it's not equal to it, set it to G or red. And the on change fires when you basically change the input and press enter or lose focus on the control. The on focus and on blur is when you click in, click outside of the control. When you click in, it expands the collapsible panel being referenced here, and when you click out, it collapses it with the collapsible panel also being referenced here. And this is just a simple example to show that Spark can simplify things by providing shortcuts to referencing control IDs and also pre-made methods available to the developer to look at. And if you need any extra information on that, we have documentation available to the developers to see all of the necessary information they need about a control. So now I want to show you how you can get more information about Spark. And if we go ahead and go over to our home site, which is salientprocess.com, then you will see up at the top that there is a tab that says support. And if you click that, then that will bring you over to where you can learn more about Spark. And underneath those tabs, there is a button here called Learn More About SPARK Toolkits. You select that, and it'll bring you to a page that has information about Spark on the left, and then it has a form you can fill out to have Spark be sent to you through one of our employees who will reach out to you after filling out this form, and depending on if you're interested in the community or enterprise, they will give you further steps on how you can obtain a downloadable copy of our toolkit. In addition to having the toolkit available for download, we also have knowledge base articles available to everyone to look at, to learn more about how to accomplish different things within the Spark toolkit, and also specifically the controls themselves, each individual one. And over here I have an example of the password knowledge base article that this is the format that's used within them. And so I hope you enjoyed this video, and please feel free to contact us for more information or any questions you might have on the Spark toolkit or Salient process itself. Thank you.